Welcome, Parshas Vayeitzei. Okay, this week's parsha has a lot going on, and we'll see what we could cover to make us more excited about life and more excited about a connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I'll start with a story, because stories are always good to start a shir, and to show how HaKadosh Baruch Hu is in our lives every moment, and when HaKadosh Baruch Hu is in our lives every moment, obviously every moment is an opportunity that we don't want to miss. Yesterday morning, I'm walking to shul, and I Kedarki b'Kodesh or Shalei b'Kodesh. I say brachas on the way to shul. I'm normally running a few minutes late, so I say brachas. But probably better to get to shul and say brachas in shul without walking to shul as saying brachas. But that typically ends up being my minhag. And sometimes it gets to be a little bit confusing where you're holding. So you always have to, when you get to shul, you have to remember, like, what was I up to? Because you walk into shul and you know. So you always have to file away, okay, this is where I'm holding. When you walk into shul, you can put it in talis tefillin, and where to pick up after your talis and tefillin. So yesterday, I'm saying brachas on the way to shul. I walk into shul, and to my surprise, after I walk right to shul, who's standing there? Ari Raz is standing there, davening, and I get a little taken aback. I say, "Oh, hi, Ari, what's doing?" And then after saying hello to Ari, what's doing, and telling him that he's davening next to his twin, I'm like, "Uh-oh, I just lost my train of thought. What am I up to in brachas? Which bracha did I leave off?" Right, so lots of times I'm at Shleis on Isha, and I know that I start after Shleis from Pekach Chivim right after that, But lots of times I go to Hanos Le'av Kayach, right? And even sometimes I'll finish a Ma'av. So I have different places where I stop, but either Shleis on Isha I stop, Hanos Le'av Kayach I stop, or Ma'av with the Yeratzin, and even the Yeratzin of Rabbi Nasi, right? Etc. But Bekitzer, in as much as that I got a little bit thrown off seeing Ari, afterwards oh, what am I up to? And I knew I got up to Shleis on Isha, but I wasn't sure if I had said the rest, and so I didn't know what to do. So I said, you know what? I'm going to say the brachas without Shem Malchus, Baruch Hashem, Elkeinu Melech Haolam, Pekach Chivim, Baruch Hashem, Elkeinu Melech Haolam, Abishomim, etc. It's everything about Hashem, Elkeinu Melech Haolam, and that's the best I could do, right? It's the best you could do. I could have done better, maybe not lost my train of thought, but I saw Ari, I lost my train of thought. What can I do? So, after davening, a guy comes over to me and he says, "Can you do me a favor? Can you answer Amen to my Parshas Shachar?" I said, "Yes, I can answer Amen to Parshas Shachar.
I'll pay you."
And just in case I wasn't Yaitze Parshas Shachar, could you do me a favor? Have in mind to be Maitzi me. He says, "Sure." And the guy goes to all the Parshas Shachar, right? I answer Amen just in case we be Yaitze, and I said, "Wow, thank you, Hashem." It's like this is the first time ever, that's the first time ever. It happened to maybe Avram Wolfson and Frankel's goes over to
Albert
Is he the older?
right, Albert Kahn or Avram Wolfson.
Is he the older person?
Avram Wolfson? He must be
Someone with a white, but he's by the Pasika meeting here, Rosh Hashanah, I think. There's a guy. He would always ask you to make all the brachas, and he would say,
Yes, Avram Wolfson, He needs a Rosh Hashanah. I think he's doing a little better, but he was very, very not well with COVID in the base. I think he should have a Rosh Hashanah Bakar.
Maybe.
Rab Nachman ben. I don't know his brother's name.
His brother.
Khan or something. So anyway, so that was. But it was like, wow, it's like what a way of saying hello. I got your back, even though you're stuck up by shit. So this is the introduction to our Primus Atara story, that Hashem's with us in every moment of our lives, and He's looking at us. And He's rooting for us, and He's giving us the koyches that we need to accomplish what we need to accomplish. He's giving the koyches we need not to accomplish what we're not meant to accomplish. And something that we should be, that should inspire us to not be Mesiach Das from HaKadosh Baruch Hu the way He's not Mesiach Das from us. There is a shtickle from the Imrei Noyam. But before I say a shtickle from Imrei Noyam, I just want to theorize a topic we spoke about last week. Just expand a little bit. I told you about it a little bit, I think, but just expand upon it. We spoke about Kvitzas Haderech last week. That Eliezer Eved Avram had a Kvitzas Haderech, and we spoke about how Kvitzas Haderech is not just shtick, not just a kunz, but it is something that's very much appropriate for the matzav that Eliezer was in. Eliezer is going to get a shidduch for Yitzchak and Rivka. We just explained how Yitzchak and Rivka their marriage is being bind a whole new island because Yitzchak and Rivka are Bechid of Adam and Chava. And so every level of the Avos, the reason why they're called Avos is because they're Shroshim. And every time, every Avoid of every one of the Avos is to shtel avek, a Shershin Klai, so which means there's like a Brias Island going on, like a Ma'is Avasim Labanim is the idea in a broader way. But we described it as a Brias Island going on. We said El Shemaim Varetz Bihi Barim, Avram is a Bechin of Tol Shemaim Varetz. Yitzchak and Rivka is a Bechin of Adam Mechav and Avram Yisrael, like we spoke out. And just to expand the Indian a little bit further, right? Look in this week's parsha. Yaakov Avinu, he's going to get a shidduch. He's going to Haran. Why is he going to get Why is he going to Haran? Ostensibly, to get rid of it, to get away from Esav. But the real reason he's going to Haran is to get married. And the Baal Turim says, Bas Yishmael, Vayikach Zmachas Bas Yishmael ben Avram Achas Nevais Al Noshav Loi Liisha Vayeitzei Yaakov. Right, the Liisha is the last word. It's Esav's Liisha, but Baal Turim Liisha Vayeitzei Yaakov. Yaakov is going to get an Isha. That's why he's going to Haran. And Mela, if Yaakov is going to Haran to get an Isha, you'd expect to find this new Bechina of Brias Ha'olam. Yaakov is a new Brias Ha'olam, like Avram Yitzchak and Rivka. Yaakov expects to be a new Brias Ha'olam. And Mela, based on our hypothesis, you'd expect to see some sort of Kvitzas Haderech in Yaakov Avinu's trip. So first of all, you see L'Mal Min HaTeva. Right? He was able to. He went L'Mal Min HaTeva, right? So that's the union of, L'Mal Min HaTeva is kind of Bria, right? Bereshis bara Elikim, right? Elikim is B'gematria HaTeva, right? But when you're haltach before, when you're holding at that moment of Bria, new Bria, you're L'Mal Min HaTeva, so Mela L'Mal Min HaTeva, so then there's no problem of being Bakeh the Yarden. But also, you find the Inyan of Kvitzas Haderech by Yaakov, not Kvitzas Haderech, but the Zelba Kvitzas Haaretz we saw by Eliezer, Lasha Kvitzas Haaretz, right? You find by Yaakov Avinu, right? Because Yaakov Avinu over here, Lasha Rashi is, right? In Zakim Beis Elikim, this is a whole long Rashi over here, but Zak Rashi, V'zui Kvitzas Haaretz. Yaakov had a Zavi Eliezer had when he went for a shidduch. He had a kvitzas haaretz. Yaakov also had his kvitzas haaretz. Okay, so it's a very, very nice sushtal to what we were saying, that the zivugim of avos, right, are bechina of a new Bria Shemaim Haaretz, and Eile Bereish Barakim Esa Shemaim Haaretz is Indian fun L'Mal Min HaTeva, which is Shem Kvitzas Haderech or Kvitzas Haaretz, and that's why Yaakov Taka has this Kvitzas Haaretz over here. That Hashem was mekapel the whole Eretz Yisrael underneath him, and he brought Yerushalayim to him when he passed through Yerushalayim. Zu Kvitzas Haaretz. It's the Mamash Zelba Lashon that we find by Eliezer. Yeah.
Why was Yaakov telling to Eliphaz's issue?
Yeah, you texted me this.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm talking about.
Well, you said Babakli.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, but I meant also the Kriyas Yamsuf should wear the Kriyas Yadus should wear not else the
separate chair.
Separate chair. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So the so that's you have by the Avnei of Yaakov, by all the obvious you have the Inyan of Zivugim, of creating a new Welt, and you have the Inyan of Mamala Midach HaTeva, Bria, Kvitzas Haaretz. Where else do you have Kvitzas Haderech? Ultimately, the Avos, obviously in Yankiv, and the Shtelling Avek a Klal Yisrael. Where is the true Zivug of Klal Yisrael? When you have the Shroshim have a Zivug, right? Obviously Yaakov, right? Avram, Yitzchak, Rivka, Yaakov, Rachel, Leah, Bilhah, Zilpah. Where is all this coming? That's in the Shroshim. Collectively, where does Klal Yisrael have this inyan of Klal Yisrael settling down and having Kilu the collective Zivug? Where's the collective Zivug of Klal Yisrael? midbar, but more importantly, really, midbar is just a pruzda. Right? What's a traklin? Eretz Yisrael. Klal Yisrael coming to Eretz Yisrael also has this bechina of. Finally, the whole Klal Yisrael is right. Klal Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael is Klal Yisrael. Eretz Yisrael's malchus. That's Klal Yisrael connecting to that's zivug, right? When Klal Yisrael comes to Eretz Yisrael, that's the inyan of the zivug that Klal Yisrael Kilu has its makim, right? The land is the nimshal of the isha, right? Isha is considered land, right? Isha is karka olam state, right? She's bechinam aretz, right? And Memela, Klal Yisrael coming to Eretz Yisrael is the final step of we're ready to start in this kilu, this marriage, in this relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Kaviyach, right? Melech, Klal Yisrael going to Eretz Yisrael. Also, what do you have? Right? You also have the inyan of Kfitzas Haderech. Klal Yisrael said, right, they said the Shleisha Yamim, they're going to be there. They're going to be there. They would have been Eretz Yisrael in 3 days, and there would have been the whole bechin of getting to Eretz Yisrael would have all happened. If you look at the psukim over there, right, there's the inyan that they covered a lot of ground, in a very short amount of time, right? Because that was the inyan of also. It's a restart, and you're lamalam in teva when at the stages of the restart. Anyway, that's just the hemshech on last week. Let me tell you over shtickle from the Yemei Noyam. It's a beautiful, real chassidish shtickle, and it's not. It doesn't involve a lot of shameless. Maybe we'll say something about with some gavaldic shameless. But he says a shtickle azay. He says azay. Where is it? Okay, Parshas Vayeitzei, Ois Daled. He teaches the whole pasuk of Vayeitzei Yaakov and Beersheva Vayel Charana, right? All the words he took, and he touches it up b'derech inspiration from Avodas Hashem. Okay, he says the psukim are coming to teach people how to daven. Okay, we know Vayifka b'makom is in your davening, right? Vayifka b'makom en pekil tefillah, right? Shenem al tifkabi. This is where you see Yaakov is sakat tefillah sarvis, and so he says that merumas in the psukim is advice on how to daven. So he says, I say, happens that a person stands up to daven Shemon Esrei. He's standing in front of Kadosh Baruch Hu, and all of a sudden he says, "I'm standing in front of Kadosh Baruch Hu. How can I stand in front of Kadosh Baruch Hu? You know where I was standing 8 hours ago? I was standing in the Yetzer Hara's house, and I have all sorts of pagam and who knows what." And a person feels very low self-esteem. How am I going to stand in front of Kadosh Baruch Hu and daven? So this is, he says, the Yetzer Hara puts his machshavas in a person's mind, right? That how could you, a ish chayte, right, stand in front of Kadosh Baruch Hu and talk diburim kedoshim like a malach, right?
Atom.
And not only that, right? The person says, if I'm as bad as I think I am, then my tefillos are not going to bring a nachas ruach to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's going to go straight to the sitra achra. Chas v'shalom. People know this the idea that when you do things badly, betumma and zachin, right? Not only aren't you accomplishing, but you're empowering the Yetzer Hara. So maybe it's better I shouldn't daven. So he says you have to know that this is just a pita Yetzer. There's Yetzer Hara trying to convince you, to drag you down, and he says that ultimately a person has to know, yes, I may have fallen yesterday, but right now, standing in front of Kadosh Baruch Hu, I am back to myself. I'm yichayis b'tshuva, and when I approach my tefillah with a sense of bitachon that Kadosh Baruch Hu shemei tefillah, I'm reconnected to Kadosh Baruch Hu. Mela, everything that I'm doing is ultimately going to be a very powerful avodah. Okay, so he says, "Azay, Vayeitzei Yaakov mi Beersheva." What's Beersheva? He says Beersheva is mirames to midas of kedusha. Sheva is all shviyos are kodesh. Shabbos, Shemitah, right? But Vayeitzei Yaakov Beersheva. Yid looks at himself that he left Beersheva. He's gone out from his madregas of kedusha. right? Vayel Charana. Where is he?
Charan.
Charan is Charanaf. He's in a bad place. He's on a Kadosh Baruch Hu's, unfortunately, he feels he's on a Kadosh Baruch Hu's bad side, right? Now, Vayifka b'Makayim, it's time to daven, and he's like, he doesn't know what to do with himself. How am I going to daven? I left Beersheba, I went to Charana, and now it's time for davening. How do I daven? And I spoke about this once upon a time. You know, how different people walk into shul, and they literally can have two totally different perspectives. One person walks into shul, I cannot believe I'm in shul, Makkah Kedusha, they're so excited. Another person walks into shul, and he's like,
is it over yet?
No, oh my goodness, he's like blinded by the Kedusha and the steer of where he's holding, right? And he feels the tsar of the difference of where he is and what the Kedusha of the shul is. And his mamish feels like he's being nisraf with busha and just uncomfortable. And therefore, so what does such a person, what kind of person, what a different reaction people do in shul when they find that stira, which we're talking about. A person can embrace HaKadosh Baruch Hu, do tshuva, or you could say, you know what, this is too painful, and he talks his way through davening, right? He just finds something to schmooze with, because he can't face the kedusha of the shul, right?
Also, vayivka b'makam, they kill your
it's pagay, right?
No,
right.
you pagay Hashem. You're saying my
tefillas
right.
Or vayivka b'makam kili means like you walk and you bang your head, you know, on the shul. It's like, what? Ouch! You know what I'm saying?
No, I was thinking like you were saying that the person says, "Oh, I'm causing more evil than I'm causing good."
Right. So he's going to get to that. Yeah.
Okay. This is very Hasidic.
Yes. He says, "Vayivka b'makam," right? He comes to daven, right? And he says, "Vayolan sham." Who's sitting there waiting for him when he comes to daven? The Eitzar is sitting there waiting for him to daven, right? Kiba Hashemesh, right? The Eitzar is sitting there in waiting for him, telling you Kiba Hashemesh. You know, the ship has sailed. The kedusha, which is the mashal of the shemesh is gone, right? You have no hope. You have no kedusha in your life, right? And he says, "Vayikach me'avnei hamakim." He says the Yitzhar tells you, avonim is a mashal for Isis. The words of tefillah called avonim. Right? When you build with Isis, Isis called they build. You build the words. They're called avonim. He says, "Vayikach me'avnei hamakim." He tells you, all your tefillahs are going straight to the Yitzhar, right? And makim is tefillah, right? The words of your tefillah are going straight to the Yitzhar. What are you davening for? Right? And all the words are going to crown the Yitzhar chas v'shalom. Okay? So he says, so a person just like, he faints, right? He gives up, right? How could he face HaKadosh Baruch Hu with such feelings when he accepts that's the madrega he's holding? That's what's going to be with his tefillah. What is it? It's vayachalim, right? Vayachalim is lashon of you have to heal yourself, right? And the Aramaic say right that to get better is kichalim, to get better, and you have to heal yourself from this bad thought, and you have to say Azay, Hine sulam mutzav arza. Enochanami, you're a sul mutzav arza, very much in the makam hagashmi, and in the makam hagashmi you chas v'shal misstep and end up in a bad place. Abers vis in roish magiat shemayim. Imkol zeh you roish magiat shemayim, and your tefillah could go right up. HaKadosh Baruch is not a stira, right? Because v'nei malach elikim oilim b'yard, because every one word of your tefillah can create a malach, and your tefillah goes straight up. V'nei Hashem nitzav alav, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is sitting there l'sayeyu l'heitev lo. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is sitting there waiting for your tefillah and giving you whatever you need to maftiach you, to watch you. Shmatich chal she'telech v'asher v'yisicha l'adama she'esk oischa l'tshuva she'tiyah b'bchinas tzadik. Right? He says v'asher v'yisicha el ha'adama hazais. What is adama? Right? That you could be a person as adam, you could be adam me'adama. But a person has to raise himself up from Adam Adama to Adama le'elyon. Right? A person has the ability to literally mirror HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And Mela, This is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is giving haftacha that your Rosh Magia Shemayim, your tefillah is going to go up, and you're going to have all sorts of haftachas that if you by Techan HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He's going to help you with your tefillahs too. They should be very matzliach. That even in a matzav that I thought I was lost, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is waiting for me to do tshuva. Okay, Mela, that's how he teaches up the pasuk over here, that it is a lesson on tefillah that a person, or all of it is Hashem. Really, it's lav dafka tefillah. All of it is Hashem. Most people look at themselves in the mirror and say, "I'm going to learn. I'm going to daven. I'm going to feel a korban to HaKadosh Baruch Hu." And like the story I started with, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is just sitting there waiting for you, right? And a person recognizes HaKadosh Baruch Hu is waiting for us to be mechazik us and to accept our avodah when we do b'taras halev. And in Mela, when we feel that sense of siyuah for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, avada, we're going to embrace our avodah Hashem. That is a pshat b'derech Chasidus without a lot of the Kabbalistic remozim that we like to that make things interesting also.
Sounds like Rabbi Kiva Tats.
Rabbi Kiva Tats? Okay. What he says? I've heard the name. I've heard people that have listened to him, but he's supposed to be a very smart guy, much smarter than me, I believe.
Very high level. Like everything you thought you understood how you read the pasuk is totally different.
Okay. Gewaldig. So that is a little bit b'derech Musar, b'derech Chasidus. What time is it now? Can we wrap it up over here?
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. Okay, so we'll wrap it up over here.
No, we're good to continue.
Oh, good for you to continue. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Fine. So let's go a little bit. We'll say one more word. Should we say one more word?
You teased it already. You know?
Yeah, he's waiting for Bnei Yissaschar and Kislev already.
Oh, then I'll have to wait for next week. But Hashem, I'll have to look it over the Bnei Yissaschar. Like I'll just say one pshat over here, and from the Barnavarov, the Chamer Tava, who is actually a nephew of the Imrei Noyam, and he actually introduced me to the Imrei Noyam because I found the sefer, and then he mentioned his uncle, and I found his uncle, Imrei Noyam. Okay. The pasuk says, "I say, Vayeitzei Yaakov Beershava v'el Charana." So I can touch up with what it means to us Lamaisa a little bit, but he has some interesting remozim over here. The Yaakov is going to Charan to get married, right? Like I said, we set up for the Baal Turim, right? Leisha v'yetze Yaakov. So, what is an Isha, right? Getting married is something that is it's a huge avodah getting married and staying married and accomplishing a marriage, because marriage is living with an Isha.
Isn't that like living, like I think it says in some safer, it says like two different planets, like when you, it's like different countries. No, it says, I think Rabbi Goldschmidt, I think he wrote a safer fellow, it's called Seichel Play.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. There's no doubt that you need to read a lot of books about marriage to have
Not
a successful
that
marriage.
one, though.
No, you don't have to read a lot of books about marriage. You have to learn a lot of Torah, work on your midas, and from Torah Lane, you learn a lot about what an Isha is. And I'm going to tell you a little bit what an Isha is, B'derech Remez. An Isha is midas adin. We've mentioned many times. Okay? Isha is a keli, right? A husband is a mashpia, a wife is a keli. When things get nepach, that the husband thinks he's a keli and the wife is a mashpia, things get to be a little bit topsy-turvy. The wife is a keli is a midas adin. It's what's mitzamsim. It's what holds things in place, right? A mashpia is something that is a little bit all over the place. Men tend to have a little bit of ADD, a little bit all over the place, and they need the wives to sort of give tzura, give tzura to the home, to give tzura to the life. Okay, Isha's a bias. Also, bias is encloses, right? When a person is matzliach in his marriage, so what he's ultimately doing is he's being mashpia to his wife with his midas chesed. Is ultimately he's being mamtik the dinim. He's softening up the din. That's what he's doing, right? when a wife who's midas hadin gets the hashpah appropriately, so then you have balance. Okay, so that's called being mamtik the dinim. So Yaakov Avinu is going to get married, and if his avodah is to get married, so his avodah is to be mamtik dinim. Okay, and we have some nicer mosem over here of how you go about to be mamtik dinim. The Medrash starts off with two psukim, right? The Medrash Tanchuma starts off with a pasuk. Vayeitzei Yaakov mi Beersheva hadu dechsev ki malchav yitzavalach. Okay, l'shmach l'chad rechacha. And the Medrash Rabbah starts with the pasuk that says, "Oz telech levetach darkecha." Okay, so we're going to reference these psukim in a Ramazim. So he says, as a midas hadin is known as elikim. Okay, elikim is midas hadin. He says that when you mimal Hashem elikim, you write elikim aleph lamed pei, lamed, right, lamed mem daled, right. K is K yud, right. You could do with K yud, K aleph, and K K, but we're doing K yud, and yud is yud vav daled, and mem is mem. You add that all up, it gets to be 300. Okay, elikim is big matcha 86. When you mimal it 86 to 300, right? So you have an extra 214, right? 214 is B'Gematria Ruach. Okay, so Elikim B'Milua is Ruach Elikim. Okay, now you know what it means. Ruach Elikim Rachaf Zalpadam Hamayim, right? Ruach Elikim has to do with the Milah of Shem Elikim. When you want to be Mamtik the Dinam Velikim, right? State in Pasuk Zivchei Elikim. If you want to be Zevech, you want to neutralize Midas Hadin, Ruach Nishbara. Okay, so Pasha Taich is a person that feels remorseful, or he feels humble, right? Ruach Nishbara, right? A first person feels shuffle. Ruach Nishbara, a broken spirit, is the best offering to HaKadosh Baruch. That's the Pasha Pshat of the Pasuk. Alpi Remez, Zivchei Elikim, if you want to be Zeveach, you want to neutralize Elikim, the Midas Hadin,
from 300 down to 86.
Ruach Nishbara. Okay? You have to break the Ruach. The Ruach of, meaning the Koyach of the Midas Hadin, the Milah of Elikim is Ruach. You have to break the Ruach in half. Okay? Break it. What's half of Ruach? Ruach is 214, right? Half of 214 is 107. Okay? So the Avodah of being mamtik din, meaning you're going to get married, you're going to come face to face with midas hadin, which is elikim b'miluai. Miluai, you have to be zevech, you have to be ruach nishbara. You have to do the magic number is 107. The avodah of 107. What is 107? Vayeitzei is actually 107. Vayeitzei Yaakov mi Beersheva. Vayeitzei is 107 because this was his avodah. He's going to Lisa Isha, and he has to be mamtik the din of Isha, so Meil is avodah of Vayeitzei. Okay, what is avodah of Vayeitzei? Now you can dash a little bit more what the avodah of actual Vayeitzei is. But that's what he sees Tzushtelling to. It's Tzushtelling that marriage means a ruach nishbara, right? You take it in a little fashion. Be humble, you know what I'm saying, in your marriage. But in a Rebbe's life, it is this avodah of 107, half of ruach, which is Vayeitzei. So he says as following. Vayelech Charana. He says Charana. Charan is we said that the avodah is Zivchei Elikim Ruach Nishbara. The Rosh Tevos of Zivchei Elikim Ruach Nishbara is Charan. Okay, so Vayelech Charana because he's doing the avodah of Zivchei Elikim Ruach Nishbara of Hamtakas Adinim. Okay, then he says Azay. Oz, the pasuk that we said, Oz Telach Levetach. He says Oz is B'Gematria Rosh Tevos Zivchei Elikim, right? And Ki Malachav Yitzavalach, right? Malachav is also Gematria Vayeitzei. Ki Malachav is Kemitzvah Chatzi Ruach. Malachav is Gematria 107, which is Ki Malachav Yitzavalach L'Shmach B'Chad Rechacha. When you do the avodah of Vayeitzei or Malachav, that's Mamtik the Shem Elikim. And b'chol derechecha ki malacha v'yitzavalach l'shmacha b'chol derechecha is gematria 300, which is Elikim b'miluyai, which is gematria Isha, which is the Indian for Isha. It's actually b'chol derechecha gematria Isha, right? And Isha is. Let's just give you one last thing. What is an Isha?
Yitzhak is also for Yitzhak.
Huh?
Yitzhak, no? Isn't it spelled the same way?
Yitzhak has a hand in that.
Oh.
But was it just for you guys? What is an Isha, right? An Isha, we said Isha is Midas Adin, right? Midas Adin is Elikim. Elikim Milu we said is Shin, right? 300. What is Isha? Isha is Rashi Tevis. Aleph of Isha is Elikim. The Shin of Isha is the Milu of Elikim, right? And the Hey of Isha is the Hey Isis of Elikim. Aleph Lam Kei Yud Mem is 5 Isis. So Isha is Meramis to everything about Elikim Midas Adin. So he says. Ki Malacha v'tzava l'shmarcha. Malacha is the Indian of Vayeitzei, which is Ruach Nishbar 107. It's the shmarcha b'chol derechecha. It's a gematria Isha, and it's a mamtek of all the midas hadin. Mela, this is the Ramos and the Psukim that the Midrashim bring down. That this is Avodah of Yaakov going to get married, to recognize that marriage is not two people getting married to party. It is two people getting together to form a true working relationship, which ultimately is the husband recognizing his role as a mashpia, and the mamtik, and the isha being what she is, midas hadin, and allowing her midas to be influenced by the husband, and ultimately to be mashpia back on the husband. And with this, a marriage is os teilach levetach, and everyone will be zoichet to wonderful marriages and wonderful lives with lots of nachas and simcha. Agitin.
Okay.